Every one of us, every single day, we make a lot of decisions. But I'm wondering if you've ever thought about how you make a decision. What kind of method are you using for making a decision? I'm going to go through a few methods later on, but now we're just talking about the decision-making process. When you make a decision for yourself, probably it doesn't affect that many other people if you're alone. And if whatever you do does not affect the other people. But, there's a big but here, right? When you are a leader of a small unit, like a family, like a small community, friends, a team, or you are a leader of a bigger unit, like a company, an organization, or even bigger, maybe a bigger society, like a city, a state, or a country. Your decision, it affects many other people. So that's why it's very important to practice on decision-making process. Basically, we have two major kinds of decision-making individually. I'm not talking about like the group decision-making. I'm talking about individual. You as yourself or you as a leader of a small unit or a big unit, a big society. So you need to think through your decision making. Basically, as I said, we have two major one and one kind of between the two. So one decision making process is the rational or analytical decision making. Rational decision making is based on the data you gather from the resources, and hopefully it's going to be a reliable resources. It's not going to be based on he said, she said, or a news media, or like some kind of social media and stuff. So hopefully you are gathering the data from one or more reliable sources. You analyze the data, and then you come to a conclusion based on your previous experience, based on the data, based on the condition. At that time, you're making a decision. So that is kind of rational decision or analytical or kind of logic decision. Sometimes we make a decision based on our intuition, or like a slang language says, based on your gut feeling. However, it's actually gut feeling is something that is related to your primitive brain, to your subconscious mind. So when I talk about brain and mind, this is my opinion. Brain is the physical structure, like the hardware of your computer. Mind is brain at the energy level. It's the software, it's the program. So you program your brain, you program your hardware, okay? And based on that program, you're making a decision or you do a lot of other works, okay? So intuition, it doesn't come out of blue. It's based on the data are stored in our subconscious mind, in deep inside brain, that we don't have access that much to the data unless we need it and we bring it up back to the surface, to the prefrontal cortex, to use it for decision making. However, sometimes if you had been ever in near accident situation, or like a very dangerous situation for one of your family members, you make a decision in a fraction of a second. Basically, you see it, immediately you act upon it. And you do something extraordinary. That is based on intuition, and part of that based on instinct, like the animals. They act upon mostly based on their instinct. They don't have a thinking brain to think about. They have brain, but primitive. But they don't have the prefrontal cortex to analyze the data and think about it and make a kind of what we call logical decision. So these are like 2 and plus 1 or 3 main methods of making decision. Now, if you are a leader, you want to make sure that your decision is a good one, because it's very important, because it's not only for you, it's not only for a small unit, it's for a bigger group of people. So your decision has ripple effect on many others, and your decision shape the destiny of your company, organization, or your society. It could be a city, a state, or a country, and maybe it affects actually a big region in the world, or maybe the whole world. When you are a leader of a leading company, of a leading country, well, of a leading company also. Like bigger companies, their decision actually affects a lot of people in the world too. But when you are a leader of a leading country, then your decision is very, very important. So we need to practice. We need to come up with a lot of analytical or rational decision to practice on it. Then when we make a decision for our company or organization, and the leader of a bigger society, when they make a decision for that society, they need to know that their decisions shape the destiny of that society. That's why it's very important to practice and work on decision-making process. And by the way, decision-making is not only based on the data. It needs brain capability. It needs a good cognition. So if someone has kind of not very effective cognitive power or brain power, then the decision probably is not a good one. So decision making is a very kind of systematic and through the nervous system, and mostly brain, which we're gonna use two main parts of the brain: the data from your subconscious mind and the data from your conscious mind, the prefrontal cortex. And as I said, sometimes we combine the two processes of rational and intuitive decisions. Sometimes first we go with our intuition and narrow down the options, and then we go with the data to analyze it and make a rational decision. Or sometimes we do it backwards. We get the data, then we see there are a lot of choices, a lot of options, then we're gonna narrow it down. And then when we narrow down the choices, then we use our intuition to make a decision. And believe it or not, most decisions actually is a combination of both. Except the one that you need to act very fast, and mostly we use our instinct and the data from our subconscious mind. So that's why it's very important to practice even with our children, with our students, with anyone, like the employees, their followers in your company, in your organization, to practice more and more on decision making. Please go ahead and comment in the comment box about your type of decision making, mostly how do you make a decision, and about the leader or leadership team in your company, organization, or your bigger society in your city, your state, or your country. Thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead, give up a thumbs up if you get value out of this video and videos on this channel, and please share it with others. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the subscribe button so you won't miss another video. Thank you so much. See you on another video.